Well, CNN's Drew Griffin reporting there. Let's discuss this now with political analyst Peter Mathews. Peter, this is messy. North Korea and the tariffs that Trump is imposing certainly haven't knocked the Stormy Daniels story out of the headlines. If anything, this is gaining momentum. How does it play out?
It's going to be amazing because if you look at it, this is not just about campaign finance, it's also about national security. But let's take the two issues, campaign finance. If the president knew about this and if he was considered to be actually part of the person who gave the money, or at least that money was related to his knowledge of it, then in fact he's broken the campaign finance laws in which he has to report every single contribution, his in-kind contribution that was made to the campaign. Plus, that money is way above the in-kind contribution maximum of $2,700. It's $130,000. It's way above it. So in each case, it's a campaign finance violation, but it's also a national security issue because it looks like Trump has paid people to be silent. And this is a very dangerous situation when he has allegedly had affairs with them and then paid them to be silent. That's perfect fodder for any kind of possible blackmail effort by other countries or other people who are nefarious toward our country and toward him.
And Peter, obviously Trump's longtime lawyer is now claiming that he paid Stormy Daniels out of his own pocket. Surely that raises more questions as well.
It certainly does, and it's hard to believe that he would do that with any kind of assurance of reimbursement or some kind of favor by the president. He is his lawyer, after all, and then if he pays out of his own pocket, that's pretty unusual for any lawyer to even think of doing that. And it would also raise questions about whether or not he was involved, in a sense, helping the campaign. You know, that's considered an in-kind contribution if you did that, because it helped the campaign for Stormy Daniels to not say a word about any of this before the election in November. There's no doubt that it's going to be considered some type of contribution toward the campaign, toward his victory. And if the lawyer was involved with it, that's also against the law for anyone to contribute that kind of money to a campaign. So there's hardly any way they can get around it either way.
And now that there is obviously this evidence that Michael Cohen sent emails from his from the Trump Organization email account, how do we read into that? That's
even worse, because there you go. There's an evidence that the organization somehow was connected to this situation, which means the organization was covered up, that Trump denied everything at the beginning. And so there could be, the cover-up could be worse than the violation itself. And since that email was sent on Trump Organization email, it's really nefarious for him. Very dangerous situation at this point for the president.
Now, we know that Trump is Mr. Teflon and just survives scandal after scandal. And
so far,
and certainly, so far, that's correct. Yes, exactly, so far. It doesn't affect his base. People still support him, his constituents. But could this hurt Trump in the long term, depending on how this all plays out?
It certainly can, Anna, because, first of all, the fact that he has seemed to be Teflon doesn't mean he's always going to remain that way, because eventually the Teflon will wear off if it's hit hard enough. And he's also got this part of the coalition is this fundamentalist Christian base, and some of them may just have enough with it, with this, in their view, immorality, very blatant immorality, and some of them may not stay home and not vote for him. And don't forget, he's only got about 34% support right now, and that's his loyal supporters who will vote for him again, regardless of all of this. And yet he needs much more than that to win the election against one single Democrat who runs against him. However, if there's a third-party candidate, he could possibly hang on to that base and still win if there's three candidates. That's unlikely, though. So I think he's going to have a very difficult time with this situation, and this base is not going to be enough to put him over the top next time around.
Watch this space. Professor Peter Mathews, great to see you. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.